If you're casting a show, you better do it right, 'cause character traits aren't skinny and white. Hello, and welcome to the first episode of Skinny and White on Character Traits. In this paper, I'll explain. If you missed the trailer to the series, this is the too long didn't watch synopsis. A few years ago, I saw a casting call for Rizzo in Grease, and the description of her was a thin, white Italian. And I wanted to know if that was necessary, if there was anything in the text that was dependent upon her being thin and white. So, in each of these segments, we're going to talk about if it is a necessary thing that affects the text or the story in any way, starting with, you guessed it, Rizzo from Greece. We're going to give a short synopsis of the shows and the world that it all lives in. Also, just to be clear, we are specifically focusing on one character in each show, but we hope that our conversation can encourage similar discussions about the remaining cast of characters whose race may also not be specified in the text. To take care of that part, I have my good friend and one of my favorite dramaturgs, Colby Frederick. Colby, tell the people about yourself and then tell them about the show.
Hello, my name is Colby. I am a dramaturg that loves to work with writers on new plays, and I'm also a casting enthusiast. And one of my favorite things to do is have conversations like this about casting and being inclusive and making theater better. So you might be familiar with Grease, it's pretty popular, but just in case you're not, Grease chronicles the challenges facing teenagers in a fictional high school as they sing and dance their way through complications of the day, such as dating, making good grades, and getting new cars. Sandy and Danny, the show's main protagonists, learn how to navigate their blossoming relationship despite coming from different worlds.
All right, let's talk about possible problems. Is there anything in the world of the play that requires Rizzo to be white or thin?
So, short answer is no. I
What's
will
the
tell
long
you.
answer, though?
The long answer is that there were just like a couple of little things I found that actually describes the way that Rizzo looks in the text. There's a brief character description that says Rizzo is thin, Italian, and with unconventional good looks. There's a stage direction that says Frenchie does Rizzo's hair, and beyond that, there's no line referencing the way that she looks at all. Beyond those few things in the script, so
Great.
that's it.
I think we should also clarify that, like, there are black Italians, in case you didn't know. There are black Italians for a
Mm-hmm.
number of reasons. There are black Italians. I'm
Yes.
gonna keep saying it until people start realizing that black people are everywhere. Also, we can talk about greaser culture. Greasers were typically Italian and Puerto Rican, and they came from disenfranchised socioeconomic backgrounds typically. And they were heavily influenced by Black doo-wop music, which I found really interesting. And other cultural signifiers of the Black community were part of their culture. So, I mean, it's not the most unfounded thing to say that, like, greasers could be Black, because they could. Black people are everywhere. Also, I think we should talk a little bit about the history of William Taft, which is the school that Rydell High is actually based off of. William H. Taft, specifically the one in Chicago, Illinois, is the one that Rydell High is based off of. And while most of the schools in Chicago didn't completely desegregate until the 80s, it's still like you could still get away with making black people a part of your show. It's not a whisper. I'm going to say it loud. You could still get away with making black people a part of your show. Kiki Palmer was in the most recent version, right? Like in the big Grease Live one. I did spend more time than I'd like to admit trying to find the black Sandy who auditioned for You're the One That I Want in Grease, the Grease Live film for the casting of the 2006 revival. I can't find her, but sis, wherever you are, thank you for your service. I support you 100%. That's a part of what I'll do too. I'll record a little segment of me trying to Google black people who've been in these shows because I want to know and I want to thank them for their service publicly because black people can exist in your worlds, and they should.
And
We
they
should.
And that is it for the dramaturgy portion. The two of us have loved having conversations like this for years. And we hope that you may have these kinds of conversations going forward.
Before we get to me singing Rizzo's song, which I had a lovely time making, I would like to share with you why I wanted to play Rizzo in the first place. She's a Spitfire, and the things that she faces in terms of the way her community views her and have already determined who she gets to be is something that Black women go through on a consistent basis. Studies show that Black girls are typically seen as older than they are and more sexually advanced. So, given the societal context, it might even deepen the story and give your audience an opportunity to have these tough discussions about the way the sexuality of Black women is perceived. I hope you've enjoyed our first episode of Skinny and White Aren't Character Traits in this paper I'll explain. Yeah. Here's the song, and we hope you'll join us next time. There are worse things I could do than go with a boy or two. Even though the neighborhood thinks I'm trashy and no good, I suppose it could be true, but there are worse things I could do. I could flirt with all the guys, smile at them and bat my eyes, press against them when we dance, make them think they'd stand a chance, then refuse to see it through. That's a thing I'd never do. I could stay home every night, wait around for Mr. Right, take cold showers every day, and throw my life away on a dream that won't come true. I could hurt someone like me out of spite or jealousy. I don't steal and I don't lie, but I can feel and I can cry. In fact, I'll bet you never knew. But to cry in front of you, that's the worst thing I could do. Colby, just give me a minute. I know there was a Black person who almost won. Maybe she didn't almost win, but like she made it past the first rounds of You're the One That I Want, and I'm looking for her. I know it's Sandy and we're doing Rizzo, but like she's somewhere and I have to find her.
This is some Berenstein Bear shit, like, you know, the spelling of the children's book. Sure, it happened.
Effect.
She's real somewhere.
She is. Maybe I'm crazy. Does she not exist?
Grease casting is so unimaginative that the only Black Sandy's in our heads.
Well, there you go, folks.
That's where we're at.
The tweet. Next episode. I quit. Rydell high, Rydell high, Rydell high.
It's all bad.
It's not great.